Alrighty, welcome back to Squid Talks. Even though this is the first show, welcome back anyway. Today we are going to be talking about Super Smash Bros. And, well, just the generalness of this. Today I have a nice guest. His name is Onion. Onion, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit.
Hi, I'm Onion. I like playing Smash Brothers, as well as other fighting games, too. I like long walks on the beach, onions for breakfast, and I have a bird son.
Yes, you have a bird son. Isn't his name Barnaby?
Barnaby Wasabi, yeah.
Nice. I guess we can do a little bit of a plug if you want.
Oh, yeah, if you ever want to see Barnaby, because he's such a good boy, I have a TikTok, Barnaby and Chops, or like a Twitter, Art of Onion, where you have the underscores between each word.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, I'll put that in the description as well if you're listening on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify, one, hey, awesome, I figured that out. And two, well, there's no description, so there might be a description. I don't know. I didn't use Spotify. And yes, I know I could edit this out, but it's staying all in, so let's go. Alrighty. So, I have a bullet point of things I can talk about, but I guess just since this is the first episode of Squid Talks, I want to talk about just generalness of things, whether it be old or new, and just like different subjects and different things. So for this one, for Smash, we have a few things we're going to go down, and just in general of how Smash has been in both of our lives, because Onion here has been a fantastic and really strong Smash player, at least like out of the friends that I know, and I casually play Smash. So I'd say the first thing I'd like to talk about maybe is the first exposure to Smash. So Onion, would you like to go first or me?
You can go first.
Alright. So my first exposure to Smash had to have been back in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, I saw like a few advertisements for Smash, and back in where I used to live, there was a store called 48 Hours. And I saw a few stuff for Super Smash Bros. Melee, and at the time I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," but I didn't own a I didn't own a GameCube. Well, I got a Wii at some point, and my first game on the Wii, aside from Wii Sports, was Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 2. Phenomenal game, by the way. I feel like it would have been better on PlayStation than Wii, but, you know. But, not shortly after, Super Smash Bros. Came into my life. I was drawn in by Sonic, because I'm a huge fan of Sonic, in some way, shape, and form. One of the things that drew me in was, at the time I started hearing stuff, it was a little bit after I had just gotten Sonic 06, and I am someone who unironically loves Sonic 06, so with all of its glitches and everything. And it drew me in a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I picked it up, enjoyed the story mode, and everything from there. And then that was that. We moved to North Carolina at some point, and I started attending college. And then all of a sudden, Super Smash Bros. Wii U came out. And that's when I guess I really started to play. Considering it was from 2008 when I was like just 12 to however long ago Super Smash Bros. Wii U came out, to where I was then like at least like 18, 19, I think. And I started having a really good time. It was very, very enjoyable to see how it was coming out and whatnot. And I didn't start playing really strong until every day after class, my friends and me would go into one of the dorm rooms and we would just play through Smash constantly. I was not really good at it. I played more casually, but I was pretty decent. So that's from there. And well, when it came to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that game I followed very closely. At that point, I had just been working. It was announced towards the end of my a year after I was done with college, and I had just started working like a month or two prior, back in October at a GameStop in 2018, and not soon later it released. I picked it up the day it came out, and from there on, I got really into Smash, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. However, because of the whole quote unquote Backstreet Boys reunion tour, I haven't been able to like really visit friends and play there, but online has been great for that. So I guess that's like my base introduction to it. Yeah, word. What about you, Onion?
That sounds like in a rich history of Smash. Um, my Smash story starts like a lot of kids who were very young. You woke up one day and there was a new game in your house. I was a big fan of like Kirby and all sorts of things like that. It's still my favorite franchise to this day. And I guess my parents saw that Kirby was on the copy of like Smash Melee, and I just woke up and it was in my house, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we're gonna play a game now. And I have never really played a fighting game before or anything like even adjacent to that. Like it was just all like simple, like Kirby games, Mario games, etc. Um, I loved the combat. I loved the like the adventures. I loved unlocking new characters. It was so fun to get that feeling of like when the character would pop up on the screen, the silhouette, the alarm was blaring, and you got to get someone new. Um, Smash Brothers introduced me to a couple of franchises too that I just wasn't like aware of until I started playing. I'm a big Fire Emblem fan now because of Smash Brothers. So I got Melee, Brawl. I got for like my 10th birthday, I think it was. I'm not exactly sure, but it was wonderful. The story fantastic. Avengers wish they had a scene where that everyone comes together that hard. You've got you've got all the fun characters. Snake showed up out of nowhere. Like I didn't know who was playing, who was going to be in the game fully because I was a child and I didn't pay attention to that.
Right.
Snake shows up out of nowhere, blows my mind. Sonic shows up out of nowhere, blows my mind. But also, like, where were you the whole time? Like, you come in the last second. I appreciate your help, but we needed that like 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah, but Brawl was fun. And then eventually, I would continuously buy the next console for the next Smash Brothers. So we got the Wii when we got Brawl. We got the Wii U when Smash Wii U came out. Smash Ultimate comes out. That's when I finally got a Switch. It's incredible. Like the games are just like something really fun to play with. I've always had a community around who want to play and have fun. I did find some people who were like tournament scene, but it stresses me out to play a game, to do a game or a hobby that I like more intensely instead of just for the fun of it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with Smash. Ultimate so far has not really disappointed me too much. I'm happy with the game. I'm happy with the music, the characters, the style. It's all wonderful.
Yeah, I gotcha. Alrighty, well, I mean that's pretty dope.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I guess from there, what I guess to meld the two of us, me and Onion, we met in college. We were kind of acquaintances then, but we really became friends more after college, in my opinion. But in college, every once in a while when we would get together in some way, I know the two of us would play Smash together, and that's kind of like how like I guess me and Onion first started when we met. But I guess as a nice, clean, cool transition, if you will, would be mains. So I guess like as far as like your mains between the games and whatnot, I think could be something fun. So since I started the last one, why don't you start this one?
All right. I've been pretty consistent with who my favorite or like character is that I always come in clutch with. In Melee, it was Marth. I still didn't know who he was at the time, but he had a sword and he was quick, so I liked him. I continued to play Marth for like every other game since then, but he stopped being my main in Brawl when I picked up Ness. Ness has been a consistent main of mine until like 2 months ago, where I finally pushed DDD to be my main. So and then I did hop back and play games like Project M and the original Smash. So I guess in order it would be Kirby, Marth, Ness, Nest, now DDD on the last one, and then for Project M, which is, if for those of you who don't know, is just like it's a mod on Melee to make it act like a mod on Brawl to make it act like Melee, and then with more characters. So like my favorite character was Squirtle. You could just play Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard by themselves, and Squirtle was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Personally, when it comes to any of the Pokemon, I just adore Squirtle tremendously. He's one of my, he's one of my, he is one of my favorites. But cool.
Yeah.
I guess to lead up to Brawl, to make it even on that one, we can go back and forth on this one too. For Brawl, when I first started playing, like I said, Sonic was one of my favorites. So as soon as I was able to play him, I played a lot of Sonic. I also ended up playing a lot of Ice Climbers, and I really like the way that they function in Brawl, along with a little bit of Pit and Lucario. So like I guess like for when it came to Brawl, it was those ones. Now at the time, I didn't play any Project M. I looked at it, I just never knew how to set it up. But nevertheless, I thoroughly enjoyed those characters, and I guess in general, I am just more of a casual player when it comes to this, but still, it's been nice, I will say. I guess that's my input of that one. If I were to, I guess, lead into the Wii U one, when it came to Super Smash Bros. Wii U, obviously I was a little bit disappointed about Ice Climbers, but I was very excited about Mewtwo being in there, even though he was a DLC character that would come in later. But my base starting was, of course, Sonic. I fell in love with a Villager. Mega Man and Little Mac were ones that I started really playing heavily as. When Pac-Man came out, I was super adoring for Pac-Man. And, characters like that really drew me in strong. Just in the sense of, oh wow, these characters are like completely different. And like I guess I'm one who likes playing as the different kinds of characters instead of playing as like some of these top tiers or whatever. But personally, those are like some of the ones I was playing as. I touched a little bit of Wii Fit Trainer, but not really. Not until Ultimate. But that's, I guess, my standard tier list for there. I guess as like just as a quick summary for that one is Sonic, definitely, Villager, Little Mac, and Mega Man. Those four were the ones that I was hitting strong with. And then Cloud in the end.
Oh yeah, Cloud's a good pocket pick.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I have in Ultimate, I have what I call my Watch Mojo squad, only because it's just my top 10 characters. So you get like King Dedede, Ness, Ganondorf, Little Mac, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and then you hit Kirby, K. Rool, Villager, and Marth.
Nice.
Why are they the Watch Mojo squad, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's because they're my top 10.
That was really funny.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do they share a color scheme, or are they just?
It's honestly just random. Like I like the pink DDD, regular Ness, green Ganondorf. It's just whatever like slaps my head and brings out the happy juice for when I see them.
Oh yeah, no, I gotcha. Cool. But alrighty. I mean, that's there. I guess a lot of them were similar to the Wii U one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I feel like the 3DS version of Smash was one that was very underrated because, as me, I never owned it, but I seen afterwards that it was its own beast in some way or form, based off of what I seen. You know what I mean? As far as like the gameplay and everything from there.
Yeah, I thought it was a neat game. It had one of my favorite stages that the Wii U version didn't have. It was for Fire Emblem, it was Arena Ferrix. You couldn't play that on the Wii U.
Huh, nice. I wanted to play on the Super Mario Kart version stage that was on the 3DS one. I never did, so I guess that's two things. But on the for Smash, I am getting better at Sonic. I'm one of my things whenever I play a Sonic is I want to play. I don't want to just go cheap out with Sonic, where people will end up just spamming like his homing attack. I like to at least work for it a little bit, at least for Sonic. That's my rule of thumb. But Pokemon Trainer, Sonic, Mega Man, Little Mac, Pac-Man, I really enjoy. Villager, I will always enjoy. Mewtwo Strong, Ice Climbers, I really have a good time playing as Ice Climbers. One of my top ones at the moment is Inkling. I really enjoy playing as Inkling. When it comes to the quote unquote DLC fighters, from there, my main across everything is Piranha Plant. I'm really good at Piranha Plant for no good reason, and I just absolutely adore it. I guess that's kind of where my mains essentially kind of come in as far as into there, and what I've learned. I'm trying to pick up a little bit of Pyra Mythra because that looks like it's fun, and the same thing with Enderman, rather Steve. But I mean, I like Enderman more, so there's that. But otherwise, I guess those are like my go-to characters, and then of course you have the ultimate best character of all, which is Random.
Only true people main Random.
Exactly. My cousin Dylan, he's ridiculously good, and he tends to he randoms all the time, and he's just at the point his mythology, which is what I think you said. If you want to talk about that too, is if you get to just play anything and you get used to random and you learn all of the characters, you end up becoming way more powerful than your standard.
Oh yeah, like the best way in any fighting game or just games in general is to get better at the game is to learn the other characters too, because you know your matchups, you know what they're capable of, you know what they skip up on. It's all sorts of fun things like that. So like for instance, I play like I told you my top 10, but I have at least a basic understanding of most of the characters on the roster, if not all of them.
Yeah,
it's important to learn your other people.
Yeah, I gotcha. And I was just about to ask, oh, what's your top 10 for this one? You literally just told me like 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
But
it's all good. They're wonderful.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I couldn't agree more on that one. But alrighty. Well, that's that. If you want, we can either go to we can either start talking about the community now, or if you want to just skip over to DLC a little bit since we're on the topic of fighters.
We could go with the DLC right now, yeah.
Alright, so that's that, that's second, that's third. Alrighty, so let's, I guess we can talk about the DLC a little bit. So, when it comes to the DLC fighters, we currently at the moment have 3, 6, 9, 10. Technically 9 if you minus Piranha Plant, but in my eyes he's a DLC fighter, so he's listed as a DLC fighter separately on the Smash website. But nevertheless, as extra fighters that were announced afterwards, there are currently 9. And what's your I guess generalness of like how you view the DLC fighters?
Well, I feel like we've gotten like such an incredible set of characters, like a lot of interesting picks. Plus, it's good to see how the Smash people decide what character gets in which game. So we've got Piranha Plant. A lot of people were upset about that at first because, like, they put another Mario franchise character in, which means no more Waluigi. But we got a basic enemy from a Mario game into a full-fledged character because they can turn anything into a character, which is wonderful. You get characters like Joker from Persona, Hero. Excellent series that have been doing really well. Banjo-Kazooie is an icon. I'm glad we have him.
That one I'm surprised
and I know
about.
people have been asking. Yeah, and I know people have been asking about him for a while. It's great. Terry being in Smash is probably, in all honesty, as much as like King of Fighters and like the Art of Fighting is not like my favorite series, is one of the best picks that could have ever happened. It comes full circle because, you know, there's the story where Sakurai invents Smash Brothers because of King of Fighters, because he beat some guy in front of his girlfriend so hard he's like, oh man, this game's gonna be easier. So he made Smash Brothers, and now we have Terry. It comes full circle. It's a perfect pick. Byleth, incredible character. We finally get to see the Fire Emblem characters with more than just a sword. We get the whole weapon tree. It's great. The Min Min being in Smash is incredible because it changes the definition of who is getting in. Because usually with like, you would think it would be the main character, the flagship character, the one that's on all the advertisements. But Min Min isn't exactly that. Like, not like she's not popular, but the fact that she's not Springman or at all like that, or he's not the final boss. It's incredible to see that we're getting different picks that isn't just the Mario of the game or the Donkey Kong of the game. Steve and Alex are one of the other ones that I would say are one of the best possible picks for Smash Brothers, seeing as we've got characters who are supposed to be here for Smash, for fighting game history, or just video game history in general. And the fact that Minecraft could outsell Tetris in a block stacking game, like, I don't know how you would beat that, but they did. So now we have Alex and Steve, and it's perfect. Sephiroth was honestly a big surprise. I didn't expect another Final Fantasy character to show up. I didn't think we'd get one after what happened with Ultimate, but here he is, and he's fun to play. I love it. Pyra and Mithra, I don't know anything about the Xenoblade series, but they're a fun character. It's good to see the character swapping mechanic come back after we lost it with Zelda and Sheik. It's fun. It changes their playstyle a lot. It's a lot different than like how Zelda and Sheik were, where it was more like long range and like magic versus like brawler. Now we have two people who have a very similar moveset but with different applications, and it's very nice.
Yeah, I fully agree with a lot of that. When it comes back to, I guess with my thing with it, Piranha Plant personally, obviously, like I said, is my main, but that one was because he feels like just a fun time, and I feel like a lot of people, like, kind of shit on Piranha Plant just because of the sense of, like, hey, this is like, you know, it's whatever, like, it's not worth it or whatever, and I'm like, honestly, from what I've seen, he's really, really dope. I adore playing as him. I remember when they announced Joker, I was picking up a pre-order for something. I almost want to say Kingdom Hearts 3, but I might be wrong. I could just look up now, but you know, laziness. But I was there to pick it up, and the award show was that day, and they announced Joker. Now, I didn't have any prior knowledge to who Joker was. I've seen him, but I was like, I don't know really who Joker was, and if anything, that led me to want to play as I tried out Joker when he came out. I had a really good time playing as him, and I actually got into the Persona series. I couldn't really finish the game, but I watched the anime just because the game's huge. But I had a really good time with it. When it came to Hero, very, very surprised as far as like the style, like kind of surprised, but not really. Like, in general, I was like, oh, hey, cool, it's Hero. And then they showed the other main Dragon Quest heroes from the other games, which I thought was a very, very unique way to kind of get, like, hey, more of your Dragon Quest in there. Then, considering the Ultimate is, like, very much, oh, the Ultimate 2 Ultimate is, like, you get, like, the other Dragon Quest heroes in there, which I think is, like, pretty smart, all things considered. But that same direct, if I'm not mistaken, Banjo-Kazooie was announced, and my my ex-girlfriend was really, really strong into Banjo-Kazooie and loved the original games on the 64. And when it came out, I instantly messaged her. I was like, dude, look at this. And she's like, oh my god. Like, she was stoked. She doesn't even play Smash, but she was like, oh, this would be really cool. And it seems like for Banjo-Kazooie, they put a lot of love and care into the character. And like, even though I never played, and I currently don't really play as Banjo that much, I feel like Banjo felt like a character that at least felt like it was 100% belonged in Smash and base game. When it came to Terry, I really enjoyed the way that they did Terry. I like his style. I don't really have any kind of knowledge as far as King of Fighters or anything like that, but I do very much appreciate the idea of Terry being in there. Byleth was the one where I was like, okay, I was like a little bit just because of the sheer amount of Fire Emblem characters in there. But if people enjoy playing as Byleth, then by all means, let them enjoy the character. Who am I to question? You know. But one of the ones, as far as like for the next DLC fighter pack, I felt like Min Min was a fantastic choice, even though I wanted the clown one. What was her name?
Oh, Lola Pop.
Yeah, I always called it Giggles because at the end she'd be like Giggles.
I love her too. She was my main in ARMS. I love clowns. Everything clown.
Yeah. Only reason why I haven't like I actually ended up trading my game in back when I was working at GameStop because I didn't play it really. I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. It's just I never really had a reason to continue to play. In a way, I think it would have been really cool if they made it to where she had some Echo Fighters, but also her mechanics are built around this specific character. So I think that in and of itself is a really good, like, hey, you know, it got its nice representation. The one that blew my mind the most, I would say, is Steve. Like, not as far as, like, oh, like, whatever, but, like, when I first saw him, I was like, wow, they really did get Steve in here. Banjo-Kazooie was already hard, too, and Steve, I imagine, was probably easier, but for Steve and Alex, being in there was something where I was like, damn, that is really, really powerful. Let alone, not to mention the fact of Zombie and Enderman. I love the idea of Enderman, too, so I was like, oh, that's instant who I'm playing. Whenever I first saw the trailer, though, for Sephiroth, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm one who wants Sora really bad in Kingdom Hearts and in Smash, but also it's if he can't get in, I'm like, okay, you know, no big deal, you know, it is what it is. But Sephiroth is a fun character. I could not do the challenge of beating him. I tried. I am not that good in Smash. I'm glad that they added the shirtless model of him.
I think it's fun because I like to call him Deadbeat Dad Sephiroth.
Yeah, and plus, you gotta admit, he is shredded and looks beautiful.
He is a very beautiful man. Yes, he is.
Right, and as two non-straights, yeah. Pyra and Mithra, or something where I think it feels like something that was like almost missing in a way, where it's this very unique kind of style character, where it's a double character that, even though they both do similar kind of style things, they feel a little bit different to play as. And I just enjoy playing as them every once in a while, and they have like a very, very strong like attack and like presence, and I'm like, I think that's really dope. I mean, personally, that's kind of like the way that I've seen the DLC fighters right now. There's 2 left. I heard some people talking about, oh, what like potential of like maybe they'll do a Fighters Pack 3, but I'm like, honestly, this is it. It's like, I don't like there's really not many people that you can add left as far as like if you want to like do more game representations, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it would be great if we got another pass, and it would be nice if they focused on like gunner characters or shooter characters. But like also what we have now is just so incredible. And one of the things about Smash that like we all fall victim to is we kind of get a little greedy with Smash because like, well, we want more characters, but then like you look at like other fighting games, like we have 80 characters who are mostly from like wildly different games or just wildly different in appearance. We have a game where you can play as Pichu, Snake, Metal Gear Solid, and Ganondorf, and you can also play as Ryu, and all those 4 people can fight each other. despite being from wildly different games. It's fun. And we are about to have 82 options of that. And then people are forgetting that. Like that Smash is giving us all of this.
Yeah, I fully agree. Cause like thinking about it, I'm like, well, who else can they add? I'm like, honestly, they're hitting with like some of the strongest characters. The fact of Sonic in its originally being in there is already like, whoa. And then Snake, Snake, because like Sonic was the first character, if I'm not mistaken, to get announced um, as a, what you call it, um, as a third party,
Newcomer?
yeah, as a third party character. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I think it was even though it's listed as Snake is 31. I think um, I'm pretty sure that like I don't know. Well, either way, the two of them were announced pretty close to each other, and like that was already something where I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Um,
Yeah. Plus, you had like I believe it was they wanted to put Snake and Sonic and DDD in Melee. They just didn't have the time.
right, and that was already there. Personally, my favorite that I keep forgetting about was Rob. I love Rob. He's
Oh,
just a,
yeah.
I think that's the best way. I think Rob and Mr. Game and Watch are a really good way to show like history when it comes to some of the characters. I think the biggest ones as like like as like top tiers is like Mega Man was already shocking, and then it felt like the one that was missing from the big three when it came to Sonic and Mario was Pac-Man. And now that we have Pac-Man, I'm like, oh well, then it's like what else can you go from there? And they just kept going further. I think one of the more
Right.
shocking ones was Bayonetta because Bayonetta is not kid friendly at all.
Yeah, but that's one of the cool things I like about Smash is the fact, not the fact that we have an R18 character, but the fact they're able to spin these random characters in the game in a way that works with the system. Like you have Bayonetta making her PG-13. You have characters like Ganondorf who back in Melee didn't have a move set. They just copy and pasted Falcon's move set. And it's really cool to see how they do that, especially with also Captain Falcon not even having his own moveset either. He's from a racing game. There's no fight. It's great. It's interesting, to say the least.
Oh yeah, I definitely fully agree on that one. Now when it came to, oh no, what was I say? Oh yeah, so yeah, just in general, that one I thought was cool. I guess something that could be a little bit on the fun side as well is, who do you think is going to be in the last two, or do you hope?
I don't
Yeah,
I don't know exactly, like, because a lot of times with people doing these predictions, it's really hard because Nintendo knows what they want and they don't want to. They don't follow what I can see as a trend. They have wild picks, but if I could say who I would be hoping for or who I think it is, I would love to see Crash Bandicoot. I feel like it would be great because
okay.
we have Mr. Mario Nintendo. We have Mr. Microsoft Steve over here. And I feel like it'd be great to have, Sega represent, and not Sega, sorry, Sony representation. We get the big Mr. PlayStation, and it would be really fun. That would be my pick, my guess for at least one of the slots. I can genuinely say though, if this is the final pass, then slot number 82 needs to be like dramatic. It needs to be something that is going to please so many people. It's got to come out of left wing, and this character's got to impress. Because if this is the last character, then they can't leave it on a dull note.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what what happened with Byleth until they announced that there's going to be another pass.
And I feel like I understand people have their gripes with Fire Emblem, and I understand, like, as a fan of Fire Emblem, I would be a little bit biased. But also, like, and on, like, a completely, like, separate, like argumentative point about the Fire Emblem characters, I just think it's nice to see them in there for the only fact of the matter that Sakurai just really loves Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
Like, it's like one of his favorite games. He gets so giddy when he talks about his really this happy time games, like when he introduced Terrier, when he introduced Byleth, he had a lot more energy and smiles than when he introduced, like, Steve or Min Min. Not to say like
Steve was like one of those, and like as both of us working in 3D, it was like when he said Steve, he's just like, yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, we had to rework every single stage
Right.
to make sure that Steve could mine and craft on every stage, which is understandable. That was probably like months of work just for like Steve alone.
Right. It's just like, wow, that seemed like it was a lot. But yeah, no, when it came to that, I what you call it? Yeah, no, there's that. For me personally, I think Crash is a fantastic pick. I think if they were to do one character that would blow everyone away, even though the likelihood is probably smaller now because of the legal hoops you have to jump through, I think the one character that everyone would go, holy cow, they really had the power to get everyone, I think would be Sora.
Yeah, getting past Disney would be very impressive.
All right, because like Disney licensed out the because Disney licensed, so like the way that Sora works is that Disney licensed out the Disney characters, and they have a kind of partner weird ownership, and then Square Enix is the one who does the majority of the stuff. But it's like it's owned by both, but more in favor on Disney's end. So like Sora, I feel like if you were to include Sora and you wanted to kind of stay it to where not as much Disney representation in there, I think something that, even though that'd be really hard considering his companions are Donald and Goofy, I think a really good way to maybe do that is, let's say on Sora's key, on his Keyblade, on the keychain, instead of being Mickey's head, it's just like a circle. As like something small, as far as like, oh hey, we're just gonna alter this so that it's not as strong, and maybe have it to where he alludes to my best friends or the king or something like that, and maybe as like an ultimate, he maybe does his like attack with Riku or something like that, or maybe he goes into a form or something. I don't know. There's ways where I'm like, if they did Sora, that would be strong. Crash feels like he belongs in this game.
He does feel like he belongs in it, and we see with characters like Incineroar that like his spin would be easily like encountered. I personally though, like if you want to hear, I do have a wild card pick who I probably know isn't going to get into Smash, but they're still like my number one pick.
Sure.
It would be Solaire from Dark Souls. Simply like he's got an amiibo. Dark Souls is absolutely a part of video game history. You can't have a new game nowadays without someone saying it's the Dark Souls of whatever. Like when Cuphead came out, it's the Dark Souls of old platformers. It's the Dark Souls. And honestly, like, it would be so neat because, like, you'd have a cool counter mechanic with him that leads to parrying. He's got, like, all these magic moves. He could function kind of like how Robin does.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, but that's only the dream. That and Bandana D, but I know we're probably not getting any characters from franchises already represented.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. There's mention about, like, oh, hey, maybe a potential new Pokemon character, but personally, I think that, I feel like that one would be one of those that's just like, okay, like, what else you got?
Yeah, if we have too many Fire Emblem, we definitely have too many Pokemon.
Yeah. And, like, I think for the original one, as far as, like, the releasing on that one, I feel like if they just took Byath and Banjo's slots and switched them, so Banjo was 75 and Byleth was 73, I feel like that would have been a banger of a final, as like a final for Pass 1.
Right, it's all about how you present it.
Yeah, and I think based off of the reaction of that one, that's maybe what they did for Fighter Pass 2. So Min Min was first, being that one, but that one was still fun. But then the Pyra Mythra, as far as Nintendo character, I feel like that was put in not last, just so that they can be like, hey, we can then do a better reveal in the end. But then again, of course, I'm not Sakurai. I'm not the Kirby master. I don't know what he's planning on doing.
He's always a mystery. You could find out by because like they said in the last reveal, if you just go to his office, you got to like break into that little part of his desk that he has locked up where he keeps the figures of characters that haven't been released yet, but he just wanted the figure to have it, and I think that's adorable.
Oh my god, yeah. You know, it'd be really funny. If Sakurai is as much of a troll as he is, I bet he would probably plant like 8 different figures in there just to be like go ahead, good
Oh, I
luck.
bet you he could.
Like he
Yeah,
throws like Spyra, or he throws like a Gundam in there or something.
he
Um,
throws in anime characters
like he throws in
specifically to mess
Goku.
with people.
He throws a Goku just to be like, ha, get wrecked. And that's
I
actually
lied to you.
right. And that's something that I guess that's a perfect lead in, which is some of the people who are like, oh, this person's confirmed, or this one, or that one. Like, as far as like when people are like, oh, Goku's gonna be there. I know a lot of them are like, oh, it's for the meme, but then other times it's like there are people who are serious about it. It's just like the whole baseline of it is if they started as a video game character, that is their chance.
Yeah,
Because if not, and it was loose off of anything, I guarantee you Goku would have been in there already.
right. Because like Goku has been in a huge amount of fighting games or just games in general. It's just that like certain characters don't meet the criteria, and like I think people need to understand that. And it's a shame too because I love Dragon Ball. I
Yeah,
love Z. I even like GT and Super.
yeah,
But like Goku just doesn't match the criteria, and not to mention you open up that black hole. Oh, it's downfall city,
yeah. Because then
as
they're gonna be
everyone is
like,
going to be just wanting their anime characters. You're going to get Kirito, and you're
yeah,
going to get like, and it's not even like those characters like would be bad to see. It's just like you've opened up a whole new section for predictions and made it that much harder to understand who's coming in the game.
yeah, and like if I had, of course, if I had to pick like an anime character, I'd straight up pick Luffy. But still, it's one of those that's just like a lot of those anime like Goku versing the majority of the people in Smash. Like as far as like to history, he's too overpowered to fight them. Now, if you, I think, was it you that I was talking to that mentioned if it was Goku like from the beginning of Dragon Ball instead Dragon Ball Z?
I feel like if it was Goku in Dragon Ball itself, I think that would be fun. You
Yeah,
get power pole mechanics, you get things with like Nimbus. It'd be really neat.
I think that maybe as like if they wanted to do something as like a hey, they can just have Goku maybe. Do you think Goku as Super Saiyan would be like a fun ultimate as just for him to do something, or do you think a Spirit Bomb would make? I think a Spirit Bomb would make more sense.
I think it would. I think it'd be really cool if we're using like Dragon Ball Goku. He just dashes across the screen as fast as he can, kind of like how Marth does with his critical hit, and it just transitions into a video, like one of those little cutscene things of him doing the Dragon Fist.
Okay, or maybe like a Super Kamehameha, so like it's like as strong as he can be, because that is also from there, you know.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. I think like if it was that way, I think that can be fun, but also the majority of people know Goku as the Saiyan raised from Earth who can go and destroy everyone, and now a lot of the general public who are Dragon Ball Z fans know him as the Ultra Instinct Goku, which is like, oh wow, that's he's like that just then makes it too powerful for any of these, and like realistically it's just like, oh, Pikachu just beat up Goku. One, that's funny, and I love that. I'd love to see that, but that's not something that would fly with a lot of people, you know.
Oh yeah, this especially like with Ultra Instinct, like you would have it would be weird to see like so there's so much with Goku, and I know like the Smash team could get it done, but it'd be interesting to see like what they had to do and what they had to sacrifice to make Goku work. I
Yeah,
mean, you could say it's something along the lines of like how they did in Super, where they had the Tournament of Power and they weren't allowed to fly, and that's why Goku has to jump like he does.
yeah, like that can be something. Um,
Yeah,
Big Chungus.
Big Chungus in Smash would be top tier, no question. I could not stress how amazing of a character that would be. If they put him in the gotcha game, which that would mean
He
they put him in a,
qualifies.
yeah, he qualifies. He started off as a meme, yeah, but like you could meme anything. But
Yeah.
he started his first appearance in something was not a TV show. It was a video game, a gotcha game, which means we could get Big Chungus for
Hey,
Smash.
exactly. And you know what? You know what would be really funny? I think it'd be hysterical if there was a way to do this. Imagine if they did like Lego Luke Skywalker or something.
Oh, absolutely incredible. I would love to see a Lego character in.
I think that would be so much fun, and it'd be so out of left field. People would be like, "What?" Um, but and like as the last thing before we get into the whole tier list thingy, because that would be a good transition too, is the oh no, what was I gonna say? Oh no! Ah heck! Hold on, I got this. I was going to say, you're talking about the DLC stuff. We're talking about that one. Um, oh God, you would think I should know this, and I would have like, I just thought of the idea too. No, we're talking about the DLC stuff, right?
Yeah.
Talking about DLC stuff. What was the other things? What we were talking about the. There, I made a joke about Lego. Um, if it comes back to me, I guess.
Which topic were you thinking of?
I don't remember. Um, I was thinking. See, this is why having ADHD sucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I cannot remember any like if it leaves my mind, just done. It's gone forever. It's gonna bother me because it's something that I was like, oh, this is really cool. Before we lead into the tier list, I want to talk about this. Dragon Ball.
Oh, we were talking about the amount of characters in like typed characters in Smash. We could talk about there was something I remember. There's always like an argument about sword fighters in Smash.
Oh yeah, we could straight up talk about that, and maybe because that is on my list of things I wanted to talk about anyway for here.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's always bothered me because I like sword fighters. I think they're neat. But the majority of my mains aren't even sword fighters anyway. But people often complain about the sword fighters being in Smash or something along those lines, and I don't think that people like the reasonings always feel a little bit soft for me. Like they don't ever hit fully because like yeah, like in this new pack we've got a lot of characters with like swords coming in, but also like there weren't a lot of sword characters to begin with, and like you've got enough brawlers to outweigh every other type of fighter in the game. If you go to like sword fighter, gunner, brawler, and then I maybe like if you include like magic people too, if like that's a classification for you. But like you take like say Joker, Byleth, Steve, Sephiroth, Hero, all Pyra and Mithra, all sword fighters, and there are a lot of them. But they're all like you look at like characters like Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, Pikachu, Kirby, Luigi. Like there's so many brawlers, and it outweighs it. And like then there's the argument of, oh well, it's so many Fire Emblem characters, but no one complains about Pokemon or the fact that like, oh, what about anthropomorphic animals that do a punchy? Yoshi, Jigglypuff, Pichu, Mewtwo, Diddy Kong,
Banjo.
even my main King, Banjo or King Dedede, Sonic. It's all sorts of like. It feels like people don't want sword characters, and I understand that, but the reasonings never really add up to me. They want another character, and I get that. But I've heard people complain that we got too many anime sword boys, and then they're like, it's like, oh, who's your number one pick? Oh, I want Dante in Smash. And I just look at the camera.
like from the office, just straight up zoom in.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Yeah, and like not only that, but like I remember what I was going to talk about, which was the me outfits. I think that's phenomenal that they are like you have like the brawler, the fighter, you have the brawler, the swordsman, and the gunner, and like I think one of the biggest things that like shocked everyone was Sans Undertale.
Oh yeah,
and the story of how Toby Fox went to Sakurai's house, kicked his ass, and basically was just like, all right, Sans is in the game. But I genuinely believe that they were probably going to be like, hey, maybe we set him up as a fighter, and he was like, no. Sans would want to be a me outfit.
Sans would want to be a me outfit. I know that.
Right? And then Cuphead being there is already really cool. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of the me costumes getting in, it's like, it's a shame that we can't get the full character, obviously, but it's also really nice that, like, we're still getting recognizable characters. I feel the only one that, like, ever kind of, like, that rubbed me the wrong way, or, like, made me a little, like, aw, sad feeling, was Travis Touchdown.
Travis
because
Touchdown.
yeah, people then they make the joke like, "Oh, Travis Touchdown's a loser. It's okay that he got a me costume," but they gotta stop punishing the man. Like I recently got into the series. His games are incredible. Travis Touchdown went Ultra Instinct before Goku did, and like they're like, "Oh, he's a loser." Well, okay, cool. Yeah, I get he's a loser, but they also haven't even made him an official figure yet. They made the pretty girl in his game an official figure, but not Travis Theodore Touchdown.
Right. Yeah, I find it hilarious. That it goes.
It's still pretty funny though.
Yeah. My funniest thing personally is Gino. I think that was one of the funniest things, that he's a me outfit. Just because I know a lot of people were rooting for him, and Sakurai's like, oh, he would be fun to put in and everything, but the representation from the game that he came from, not a lot of people played the game or kind of knew of it. Like, it would be a fun fighter, I think, and you could probably make it fun, but like, I think the fact that he is now a me outfit kind of just one of those things that's just like, hey, there's not a whole lot to do with this character, you know?
Yeah, and I know like Sakurai has said that he wanted him in Smash, and also that like representation, like recognizing a character isn't the most important thing, which is why like you have character like I think he mentioned that when he was unveiling Banjo, or I think it was Byleth. Either way, or no, it was Terry. It was Terry.
Okay.
And he's well, no, if people don't recognize it, that's not like the biggest thing as long as they're fun to play. And I understand that, but also like there's like Gino seems like a really cool character. It's just that like you also have to accept when you lost, like with the Waluigi people when Piranha Plant came in. You just got to accept when it's over.
And like, although Waluigi would be really really fun to play as, I think, at least he's a assist trophy.
Oh yeah, at least he's in the game.
Yeah. Which is more than obviously a bunch can say, but no, you have that, and yeah, I just think that the fighters like Cuphead and what was it? It was Cuphead. Sans was a really good one. The fact that they brought in the Monster Hunters, so like that had its representation, even though I guess a normal fighter would be fun. That kind of confirms with like, hey, you know, whatever. And then Gino being in there, that's a nice fun one. Is Bomberman a me outfit? I don't remember.
Yes, Bomberman is a me outfit, and it's adorable.
Yeah,
it's
it looks like an actual character, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, like they have they have the hitboxes the same, but like you could like they got the thin little noodle arms and it like the perfect head. I feel like it looks like if Bomberman was actually in Smash, not like how like some of the other costumes just look like costumes.
Yeah, like Sans also looks like that too. Cuphead looks a little off, but again, like
I think it's the hands.
It's because of the permanent hand. That's why.
Yeah, it's also the same thing with like Knuckles, where like Knuckles would look more like Knuckles if he had the big meaty paws.
Yeah, I kind of feel a little bit like damn. Whenever they were showing the Echo Fighters, and then Shadow wasn't there because like really when it comes down to it, as far as if you want to do kind of base stuff, as far as like an Echo Fighter, you could have just had it to where his side where maybe his down B was just gun or something. Or
right.
Even if you kept it the same moves, he's basically a copy of Sonic.
Yeah.
But, again, he is an assist trophy, so there's that. Me, of course, will always root for Silver, but considering he's my favorite. But, alrighty, cool. So, we talked about that. We talked about the debunkings of that. I guess as a good thing going from there would be the community in general. And I guess there's both the good and the bad. And I guess we could start a little bit on the good, like as far as like content creators and stuff like that. And I think that is something that's really really strong. Is the amount of content creators that go for there, and like one of the ones that comes to mind for me is Alpharad, and personally he was someone who like after seeing how he plays, I'm like, wait, he just has a good time. Why can't I just have a good time? And that's kind of what got me there.
Right. Like, I feel like a lot of things that can really, help people understand, like, the community can be nice and fun, or even Smash can be, a nice, fun place to be, is, like Alpharad's how to Smash characters. I always loved seeing them. I was, back at the beginning when he just had a Space Jam remix in every song, and it was great. He had funny jokes. He had like little combo videos, special things to do with the characters. Because like one of the biggest gaps of why people can't play a game is like knowing how to play it. But like if you teach someone how to play a game, then it's so much more inviting. Even if it's just little things, like you can learn one combo with a character and lean on it when you need to, and that's enough to get someone to want to play.
Yeah, exactly. And that's I think that's like really important. You have that one, and then of course you have like the tournament scenes, which are always like really fun to see. A little bit of what you call it, a little bit of the toxicity that goes into there, which then leads into, of course, the bad sides of the community itself.
Yeah, like you've got the people who refuse to accept, like anytime a new character comes out, well, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted, and they whine and complain and say Smash is being like an awful game, and like it's a little childish. It's ridiculous because like I said earlier, you get like we have 82 characters right now, and there are rosters bigger sets I've seen, but at the same time, like the variety that we have in Smash Brothers is unmatched. Like there are other games with good guest characters. I know that Soul Calibur has some of the best guest characters I've ever seen, like Spawn, Yoda, etc.
Yoda shocked me, by the way.
Same with Link. I didn't expect to see Link in there.
Yeah.
Or even like how they had it was another Heihachi
or Ezio.
Yeah, like they had a wild variety there, but like you get all these things in Smash, and it's really weird to see that like people get like so upset, like, oh well, my one character didn't get in, so I'm mad at the game. It's like, but like the odds of that happening were already so low, and like the game's not meant, like they're not making Smash for you, the individual. Like you, one person, you don't get to say how the whole game is made.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention, you have the people who are like very strict with like, oh man, I lost because we were playing on a really weird stage and items or something like that. And I'm like, well, I mean, like for competitive, like okay, sure, if it's like, hey, I get it of like no items on like a normal stage, but like at the end of the day as well, like online and everything, when people play online trying to get to Elite Smash, like, oh man, no, it's whatever. I'm like, the original idea for Smash that Sakurai made was, hey, we have these really cool items and stages and everything that bring fun and some really interesting mechanics. And sure, some of them are cheap, like if the home run bat lands. Okay, yeah, that sucks. But
I mean, yeah, but like you also have to stand there for like 30 minutes and get hit.
That's like exactly. Like if you get the bat hit swung at you, you kind of deserved it. And I feel like something as well is that like a lot of people tend to not really stay as far as like you have your what you call it, you have the people who are like, it sucks with the items and it sucks with just like how the things are running or working and everything. And then yeah, like what you were saying on top of that as well.
Right, and like different people have different ways they want to play. I'm a little partial to like no items, but like wild stages, custom stages. But I can still play with the items on. Like you just have to like it's fun to play casually. It's fun to play on easy mode. I'm like doing the air quotes as hard as I can. People should be allowed to like it should be normalized that you can play a game on a way that makes it more chaotic or makes it easier for the player. Not everything has to be Evo 2021.
Yeah, and like people get like choke up sometimes when it comes to like if they're fighting someone and they know they're good, it's like there's a little bit of a mental game where it's just like if you just take it in as you're just having a good time, you're gonna do a lot better than if you're like, oh my god, this guy's so much better than me, how am I gonna beat them?
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have people who are like kind of like push out new players by like, well, you weren't here, or do you even like pick top tier characters? And the tier list was honestly a mistake.
Yeah.
Like I understand as a whole like the purpose of it, you know, but also like the fact that people wave it around like it's some sort of like Bible in like games is absolutely ridiculous. If you're good enough at a game, you can play with whatever character. As long as the character is not legitimately broken, you can play anyone. Most
Yeah.
of my picks are because I just like the characters, even though they're the bottomest of bottom tier. I just enjoy them, so I keep playing them, and I find myself winning like more often than not.
Yeah, exactly. And like that's something that is that I see and just like, yeah, it would be nice if that wasn't like, a huge issue, but like of course it is. And and also, well, of course you brought it up straight. The next thing was literally tier list. And I feel like a lot of people they're like, "Oh man, like if I remember Alfred was talking about how he didn't really enjoy he didn't really play Bayonetta when she first came out because people were saying, "Oh, she's bottom tier, but she's a fantastic character and a lot of fun." And like literally, some of my mains that I play as, like Sonic, he's not a top tier character. Um, or like you have that one, or you have some of these other ones. I'm like, just because it's not top tier, um, doesn't mean that they're bad. Piranha Plant, people crap on Piranha Plant all the time, and I'm like, and like they get surprised sometimes when I win with him. He's like the only character I'll ever actually win with, but like, people are like, how? I'm like, he's Piranha Plant. I don't know.
He's fun. He's got wild moves. He's
Yeah,
got a great recovery, a good spike, a very good side B with his like poison. It's fun. And like I had an opposite reaction with K. Rool. Like K. Rool's one of my favorite characters, and when he came out, everyone was talking about how he was going to be a top tier menace and how he was impossible to deal with. And you just don't hit him in his gut. Like that's it. He's according to the tier list, he's pretty low. Like he's in like the bottom 10,
yeah.
and K. Rool like, but it's just like, oh well, you don't hit his giant golden gut. It's like, but what other parts are there to hit? The other 80% of him.
It's more 60, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like if he slaps his gut, maybe don't hit him. A lot of people have this idea that like you can approach anybody and you can like challenge anybody. You can't. There's super armor in these games, there's counters in these games, and there's dumb mechanics in these games. If you think you can run up to everyone sword in hand and you win the game just because you're confident, you can't. It's a sad thing, but like that's and then people who have that mindset are the ones whining the loudest about how it's impossible to defeat K. Rool.
like when I see a K Rool, my first main thing is like, oh god, all right, let's go from here because it almost feels like a lot of people online who tend to play as K Rool ends up being a little bit of a tryhard, but
Oh yeah,
also like it is one of those where I'm learning as time goes on. And with our friend Shark being into the game now, I'm like, oh, it gives me more of a willpower to continue forward, you know?
right.
And that's fun. And like at the end of the day, I think that if anything, Smash has definitely introduced me to a lot of friends, and I think that it's something that that everyone can enjoy in some way, you know. And I think that's what makes the game beautiful.
Same, absolutely. It's such a fun game. Party modes, like any game that can be a party game, is automatically going to make people like want to be near each other. It's wild.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, and I guess like as far as one of the last things too that I have here is content itself and like what is in the game. And I think that a lot of people they will be like, oh, it's like, not much to do. I'm like, World of Light. Whenever I first got the game, I was full on like, okay, I'm gonna burn through this so I can get all the characters. It took me like 3 full days of just playing through World of Light straight, almost like 10 to 12 hours each day. I'm like, Jesus, this thing's long, and I didn't expect it to be that big. And in
Oh
the end,
yeah.
even though at first the cutscenes did like I was like, okay, like I don't get whatever, and then I remember seeing Matt Pat's video on Smash, and Smash Ultimate, and the cutscenes and the story on it. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, "Oh, whoa! This actually makes solid sense." Did you see that video or no?
I don't believe so. I think I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah. And the video itself is basically how the little thingy that comes in is like the light thing, like the original one. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when like everyone gets like wiped out.
yeah. That thingy. Um, is the
Gleam.
yeah yeah is Nintendo itself, and how then all of a sudden it was the dark version of it was the fans, and in the end, the person who you end up playing as Master Hands, that's Sakurai, and kind of how like Sakurai just wants to like both sides of like the fans pushing like, oh hey, we want these characters specifically, or then you have Nintendo going like cut these or do these, and then when it came all together, Sakurai's like you end up playing as Master Hand, and then it's just like even though obviously it was a joke and you're fighting him and everything, in the end it's just like these are my characters, this is my game, I want to do it the way that I want to do it, and I don't want to cater to a specific thing in a way. You know what I mean? Like he wanted to make a game that was his own.
Right.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he hates making sequels.
He does hate making sequels, and like I remember thinking that like I was really hoping that Smash Ultimate wouldn't happen at first. I was really hoping that he'd be able to work on his own thing, but he can't leave Smash behind because that's his dream. He can't
Yeah.
leave this to someone else because if they're going to keep making it without him, then he has to be there. It's why you don't see a lot of sequels in any of his other games. They're just like new stories instead.
Yeah, like with Kirby.
Yeah, like how you have like Kirby, like Nightmare in Dreamland, and you have Kirby Squeak Squad. It's not even like a continuation of the same story. It's literally just Kirby just being there. It's not a sequel.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
And like I think that's something else as well that like is really fun is you could see like when it came to releasing Pit from Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus was not a popular game, yet he gave the character, and it, like when I first saw Pit, I was like, oh, I'd love to play the games he's from, and I found out I was like, wait, he wasn't touched in a while. He looks like he's been well kept up over the years, and then Sakurai made a game out of it, and from what I heard, that game is phenomenal. The one for the 3DS.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard that was a phenomenal
Uprising.
game. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
I've
game
heard
that
a
I
lot
want
of
to
good
play
things
at some
about that.
point. I just haven't. I heard good things about it, but like it seems like whatever he makes, he likes to put his heart into, and I really do appreciate that. I kind of wish that there was a little bit more of like a story like they did with Subspace, but it's understandable why he didn't do that.
I mean, yeah, Subspace is going to be hard to ever like get near again. I loved Subspace so much, and I feel like it really deserved a lot more praise than it got. Brawl was really dragged through the mud by a lot of like the professional community, for what I've heard, and like the Subspace story was so great. You had so many arcs, you had all these things tie together, you had like interesting cutscenes, you had characters pairing up and actually doing things together. Like a lot of people in the community will draw things like Samus and Pikachu being like best friends because of Subspace.
Yeah, and there's still a little bit of that now that I see on Tumblr every once in a while, especially with Isabelle and Doom. Even though that was more for Animal Crossing, it's still fun to see that, and then you see like some of the other characters like interacting, like with Inkling and some of these other ones, because it was just like, hey, it's coming in and whatnot. And I think it's just
Yeah.
fun.
One of my favorites personally is like seeing how they treat like they like make little families for some
Yeah.
reason. I love it. Like my favorite one is Bayonetta being Kirby's mom.
That's
That
funny.
one that's really funny and really sweet. Then you have like Isabelle being like what was it? Snake being Isabelle's dad, and then you have now with Joker is Kirby's brother, and it's just like it's so wild to see what people come up with, and it honestly just like makes my day to see like new content of all that.
Yeah, and like also with that too, it's just like, hey, Joker's in the game. It's like, okay, that means that his universe is somehow tied to there. Or like with Pokemon, that means kind of any Pokemon is kind of free reign at that point. Or what's a better one? Okay, Legend of Zelda. So like those kind of character interactions from like the fans and stuff like that, which lead into the good side of the community again, and like how much positivity there is a lot when it comes to like some of these characters. And like I have no idea and never played Xenoblade, nor do I feel like I want to, but the fact that Pyra and Mithra are in there and it gets its nice representation from there, I'm like, hey, you know what, good job. And at first I didn't understand why the main character from the game wasn't in there until I found out that these characters are more beloved. I'm like, so they really did just take the more beloved character rather than the easier answer, which is dope. And it's always nice. And something I want to I guess express too is that this isn't necessarily like, oh hey, we're Nintendo people gushing over for Nintendo. This is more of like this game is just genuinely really well made. And I feel like a lot of times people will take criticisms of the game that they love. Like with me, with Kingdom Hearts. People are like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is a bad game. The story sucks, it's whatever. I'm like, yeah? It's like, wait, you agree? I'm like, oh yeah, no, the story is very convoluted, and the acting could use a lot of work, and everything feels cliche. But it's still my favorite franchise of all time. And I feel like people are afraid to be critical of their own stuff that they care because they want to put it on a pedestal. And that's something as well that I guess I wanted to like kind of push forward, is just like, hey, the two of us, we're not putting this on a pedestal. We just really like playing it, and it's just a really good game.
Yeah, there are definite flaws with Smash Brothers. There are weird hitboxes. There are times where like characters do have, even though I did say previously the tier list doesn't matter, there are times where characters do have advantages over each other. The tier list doesn't matter because you should play who you want to play, but then you'll also have moments where like you're Little Mac and Mario floods you off the stage and you can't recover. Or same thing with like characters like Hero, who have a way to block all projectiles and reflect them back, and then you have characters who are made of 99% projectiles. It is a bit unfair in some places.
Yeah, and
no,
go ahead.
But if everyone was so similar, it wouldn't be what Smash Brothers is today. And its flaws is what makes it more unique for the player.
Yeah, and like for me, like when it comes to like Sonic, just say, his movesets are kind of, as far as all things considered, kind of on the basic side, where you have like Mario, where like some of his moves are referencing different games or whatnot, and then Sonic, it's like, okay, he has a spin, dash, and homing attack. It's like, okay, iconic, but then his down B, to this day, I still don't even understand what his down B does.
I think it like charges up his attack and makes it like stronger or something. I don't play Sonic all that much, so I can't even tell you.
But like, I think that's something that could have been fun, maybe, is like you introduce something from like one of the other games. So maybe his down B, he grabs like he grabs some rings or something like that, or and like it does something, or I don't know, like maybe like I guess like just like a little bit of like love and care for like some of these other ones, or ones where it's just like, oh, that'd be really nice to like kind of get like that kind of look of it. Or as we both said when we were planning this podcast, none of the Pokemon have shiny skins.
Yeah, none of the Pokemon, like they have some ones that resemble it, but none that are actually like the shiny, which is kind of weird to think about when you it should be a part of it. It's such an easy thing, and I get like why some characters it's hard for, like Pikachu. They want to add the hats. They really want to do the hat thing for the trainer, which is nice. But you could make one of those the shiny and have a hat. Like there's no saying you can't do that. Incineroar, Mewtwo, Lucario. There's no excuse there.
Oh yeah, no, there's really not. And like, and like not like Charizard. His shiny is a really like I'm not even that big of a fan of Charizard, in all honesty,
right?
Which our friend Lemma would get on me about. But his shiny is great. That's a fantastic shiny. Which
leads black into salamander, absolutely
right. That also leads into like the whole like Lucario's shiny is just yellow, and I'm like, that doesn't feel right. You know, it should probably be a little different. But That's a whole topic for another day when it comes to Pokemon.
Right.
But still, it's like, oh wow, that'd be really interesting to see. Animal Crossing, with that itself, it has like a lot of really strong mechanics. But I think that I think something that could be fun if they want to do something that's like as like a little quality of life thing, if they wanted to, is maybe have it to where they introduce maybe like a skins pack. So like it's like $1 or something like that, and then like everyone in there gets like 1 or 2 extra skins that make more sense. So like let's say Sonic gets his Sonic Advance shoes or something like that. If you want to do something like basic like that, or you have Cloud to where he gets his Kingdom Hearts outfit, which is his Kingdom Hearts 2 outfits, which the only difference is that there's bandages around the sword.
I like that a lot, honestly.
I like that. Like, I would love his Kingdom Hearts 1 version. I think that'd be fun, but realistically, if I'm just thinking about, like, as far as, like, changing texture versus model. Pokemon giving them their shinies. Maybe Mega Man giving him an alternate suit. Inkling. Maybe doing Splatoon Boy and Girl, too. That could be fun.
Right. Or maybe, like, I would love to see more skins that just focus on, like, different outfits. Like,
yeah.
Like, there was, like, for Marth, for instance, like, how they could have done his early Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, where he's got, like, the Prince skirt on, or when he is, like, in, like, the, they had that idol game that he could have been in, that could have his outfit from there. Like, there's all these options, and, like, sometimes it's nice to see different colors that are inspired by different things. Like, if you look at, like, for instance, when I play Kirby, I play as the orange Kirby because it's Suplex Kirby.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite power as a kid.
And I think that's also, like, really, really, like it's cool that they have, like, the stuff like that, but I fully agree with you, that it is kind of, like with, Steve. I would have loved to see, like, maybe it was, like, Steve and Alex, it was Zombie and Enderman, and then maybe instead of just going to, like, those other ones, maybe go a little bit more stronger, so, like, maybe they did, like, the Water Zombie, just say, or they did the, or maybe they, like, did, like a variant of, like, a skeleton, or stuff like that, as far as, like, hey, you're really getting, like, your strong characters, because, like, if you just had it based off of that,
Right.
Little Mac had the most skins in the Wii U one, because he had everything wireframed and then he had everything there. And I think by cutting it down, it was smart. But
yeah,
one of the things that Mario's missing is his fire suit.
Yeah, he doesn't have his fire suit anymore.
No, it was. I think it was replaced by. I think it was replaced by the Mario Maker outfit, which is fine. But I'm like, like Luigi has his fire suit, then he should have his.
Right. It's classic too.
Yeah. It's a little weird. Yeah.
I feel like it's nice that they did limit it to 8 because that means everyone gets the same attention. But also, it feels like some characters did need either more or they needed like to have room for these other ones. Like, I know that in other fighting games they usually pay attention to like the main 3 and then every like waifu-esque character, and they give them all the skins, and then your favorites are lacking. And it's a shame. And then but having everyone be at 8 is also like a problem where like it's like sometimes where it's like you need those extra ones. Like it feels it'd be nice to have them. Like Little Mac having 16 skins, it doesn't feel to me like an upgrade over everyone else because it's just him as a wireframe instead.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is pretty important. But I mean that's I guess that's like my last little bit of that. Do you have any like kind of final thoughts of Smash overall?
I think Smash is a revolutionary game that has brought a lot of things to the fighting game community, has created a new genre of platform fighter, has done a lot for me personally, and is one of the big reasons that I've personally gotten into animation and video game making. It's done a lot for me with making friends. It makes a conversation easier. It makes a party easier. And I'm just glad that like the people who I met through this, I'm thankful to Smash because of it.
Alrighty. Nice. And I guess on my end, It's a game series that I thoroughly enjoy, and anytime that someone's like, "You want to play Smash?" Even if I'm not feeling in a video game mood, I'm like, I could boot it up and like play a few rounds that I wouldn't feel that bad about it. Especially with how busy I've been with trying to either start the YouTube stuff or or doing the TikTok or just personal life stuff, especially in this panoramic that we're in. But
Yeah, this pop-up pizza.
yeah, this 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 attack of the Sith, I guess. But yeah, no. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. And anytime that there's a new like announcement, I'm like, hey, this is dope. I'm curious to see what comes next, and that. So yeah. Well, I guess with that being said, um, uh, thank you all for coming to the first Squid Talks with special guest today, Onion.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
Yeah, of course. Onion, do you have anything you want to plug?
Well, in the beginning, the only two things I really worry about are my like TikTok, because I like showing people my son, my baby boy Barnaby. So proud of him every day. So there's Barnaby and Chops. You'll find that on TikTok. And if you want to see my art Twitter, which I like to draw every once in a while, it's Art of Onion with like a little underscores between Art of Onion. And yeah, if you want to see anything I've got, that's where you'll find it.
Alrighty, I'm gonna just I'm gonna put a picture of Barnaby up now, for the guests to see, and I'm also gonna go to your Twitter real quick, because I know I followed you very recently. Is it the edible?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the Art of Onion, right?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna put this on screen just for people to see some of the stuff, and he does really good, amazing work. I've known this guy for a very long time. I'm looking at your Animal Crossing stuff now. Oh god, that was really funny. Yeah, so there's that. If you want to know where to find my stuff, obviously, if you come from TikTok, that's where I was. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, I am all Ray of Kibo. RAY _of KIBO, Kibo. And I'm trying to go to my profile here so you can see some of the stuff I've posted. I post like some fun figure stuff and like a few TikToks from here or there. At the moment right now we're trying to, on my TikTok, and if this can also lead into here on my TikTok, we're trying to raise funds for me to get Gwenpool, Mayfex Gwenpool, which I then can from Big Bad Toy Store. Hashtag not sponsored. But with Mayfex Gwenpool here, let me pull this up. Mayfex Gwenpool. Price before shipping and taxes $94.99 rather. And currently we have 70. So 25 more from the community, and I can get her and review her. I'll do reviews on TikTok and YouTube whenever that goes through. But I just want to plug that in. If you want to know how to help out with that or any other future figure stuff in general, just head over to my my link tree that's in the description. It's funny, Onion, I have my link tree set up on TikTok because it gets flagged sometimes if they hear the word link tree. That's not what I wanted to go to.
Really? They flag that now?
Because it's just like trying to support outside stuff. So I get around that by saying go to my, and I'll show Figma link next to a Lego tree.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? It's my link between worlds. But yeah, okay, good. I finally have this up on the screen now. So I guess I'll move to that if it hasn't been up already. But yeah, I have my my Cash App and my Venmo there. So if anyone's going there, will I cut this out? Probably not. Maybe so. We'll see. But there you go. That's just if you want to help out with any of that stuff. There's my link tree for that. So I guess thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Onion, for being a guest on the show.
Of course.
I'm sure that I'll grab you in more for the future. I want to talk to Will maybe for the next podcast, and that one I want to talk about Star Wars. I think that could be very fun. I know he probably has a lot to say about that, considering he's a really big fan. And I'm more of a casual fan on that one. And yeah, that's generally it. So, again, thank you guys for coming. This was a very long send off. I haven't done these before, so as time goes on, it'll get better and more cohesive. So, thank you again, and stay colorful, my Inklings. And yes, I'm Squid, and I call them my Inklings.
Beautiful.
Right?
Absolutely beautiful.
Alrighty, stay colorful.